And don't forget, it was a massive 7-2 win to Black Dragons on Consulates, and Live actually went 16-4.
He did. And I don't know for SuperNova. I was really like thinking about it just at the break, and all of the stuff that they were doing was like so predictable. Everything was as if like Black Dragons knew before even SuperNova knew what they were doing. Black Dragons knew exactly what they were doing. Like they just knew everything that was coming at them. And if that's the case down to SuperNova being too predictable in some of their pushes, which yes, they looked very, very suspicious in some of the questionable plays that they had, or was it just Black Dragons really turning up?
I think a combination of both, yeah, because obviously SuperNova don't really have anything else to play for here. OGA is their main qualification and their main stuff going on, but the same can definitely be said here for Black Dragons as well. So we definitely seen them show up like Live, just immediately getting an ace in the very first round, completely setting the tone for the series. So we'll see Habana, Capital, and Amira all banned off the board. It's going to leave SuperNova with their final ban, probably going to be an Echo here on Bank. Definitely a very powerful operator, and yes, it is going to be banned. So again, like pretty standard bans coming out.
It is. There's nothing really out of the ordinary. Maestro does get away through the pick, so I expect a lot of basement Maestro play instead of garage. And well, we have seen that commonly in LATAM, is where, well, I say commonly, everywhere is kind of like doing that thing with the Maestro. LATAM was like the only team that actually had like a really sneaky way, and that was the first game of this entire tournament, and that was Liquid, where we had Nesk crouch walk in as a nuke, pass the Maestro camera, and eliminate Maestro. That's the only time we've really seen a really great way of eliminating the Maestro and alleviate pressure from your team as they try and go in for the plant. But it is a strong position, and I feel as if more teams need to put a lot more emphasis on actually taking control of the garage.
So we're going to be going downstairs to our lockers and CCTV room to start with SuperNova starting out on the defense. So since this was Black Dragons' map pick, SuperNova gets to choose which side they start on, and they've opted to start on the defense. So let's have a look at how they exactly want to set up here as we go into round number 1 here on Bank. Don't forget, as I said, this is Black Dragons' map pick, so we're expecting them to do quite a bit of work, and we talked about as well that Black Dragons has played quite a lot of Bank across the Pro League season. They have. But also, SuperNova have only drawn twice during their Challenger League season, but both of those maps were Bank.
Still not great, though.
It's not great to draw.
Still not great. Come on, James.
I wouldn't brag about drawing, but it's like that's been their only map that they've had any kind of semblance of what they're doing. Every other map they've lost.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yes, but those were against Challenger League teams. Now they go up against a Pro League team who's on top of their game on Bank. So how well that correlates is, you know, we can always go with the, oh, but he beat you and then they beat you on this one, so that means we're better than you. But realistically, Black Dragons is probably going to skin them alive.
Look, my main point is that, you know, this should be the best map in SuperNova's map pool.
Yep, it is.
Right. So I'm not saying that they're going to be better than Black Dragons. I'm saying that this is their opportunity.
Wow, what happened to Mr. Faithful and all of the, you know, the tier 3 teams?
Where's
Mr. Optimistic? Where is he?
I am still optimistic. I think that SuperNova can bring this
into
a side.
I'm Mr. Pessimistic. Nice to meet you.
Well, I think we do duality with that then. But we see a typical blue hold coming out here. Of course, no Capital on the board means he can play this pretty close with a shotgun.
It's interesting to see a Buck right off the rip, because he's not an operator that has a big say in the basement. And basement, of course, is going to be like the obvious one with Habana being gone, which just makes things 10 times easier, so it forces you to bring the Maverick every single time. But still bringing the Buck, knowing that case, it's a strange one. Perhaps it's a comfort pick for Live. Perhaps the nades is something that they value a lot more. And again, there isn't, you know, that many operators that are strong with nades. There's what, you know, Yafinka, Sledge, Buck, Dokkaebi, and Glaz. I would say that 2 of them are like actually decent, which is being Sledge and Buck. So you're kind of like limited for options.
Yeah, it's also interesting because Live is normally on the Zofia and the Jaeger here for Black Dragon. So the fact that he's brought Buck here does tell a lot about the strategy they want to bring in here. Flashbangs are going to be able to confirm there is no ADS now on top blue here for Dimitri to hide behind. But he's still playing this pretty aggressively. We're in the drones are going to be coming out to confirm that. Looks like a nade should start to come out here from Live. But potentially also Zofia Shocks, and yes, there we go. Zofia Shocks are going to go down. Smoke does go down as well. Dimitri still playing his life around here. It's a lot of wasted utility for Black Dragons, and also a lot of wasted time. They've only got a minute left, and they still haven't cleared out blue.
The thing for Dimitri, though, is that he needs to try and
Oh!
get a kill, and he
Oh!
will answer with 2. Black Dragons just crumbling under the pressure, and I don't get it. Why they would just try and force their way in without having another option, for example, the hatch being open. That's just rookie mistakes from Black Dragons, honestly.
Yeah, also, like, they could have saved themselves a lot of time there by just throwing a Thatcher to deal with all the ADSs, but as I say, Panico will not be able to pick up the Cade on the rotate, and he's still trying to push down main stairs. He sees him and takes him down. Cab, how do you lose that? Norden still playing around the garage as well to be able to shut down this main stairs push.
Down.
And this is looking like not great at all for SuperNova, but they have time on their side. 15 seconds left to go on the clock. Wag's going to have to try and drop the hatch and try and do what he can to push through. Panico is actually just going to go for the full sprint, takes down the Maestro. The plant is starting to go down from GDM, but Dimitri secures his 3k on the round as Panico holds down the rotate. Norden is injured. It's all down to FK1 and Dimitri to try and bring this in, but Revolts gets revived. And it's now a 3v2, but SuperNova is going to have to try and retake through this crossfire. This is not looking good at all. Panico does score a kill to FK1, potentially to try and get another one, but gets flashbanged by his teammate. Oh no, what a disaster. As GDM pushes all the way around onto red, takes down Revolts, but it's all down to Dimitri. He could get the clutch ace to try and bring this in, and he does! He gets the ace! Oh my god! And gets the counter defuse as well. SuperNova kick things off with a dynamite round on Bank.
What a mess that round was. SuperNova still won it where they should have, but there was a point there where it looked as if they weren't. Yeah, that was just, I kind of feel it was down to the positioning that Fermite kind of implied there. Being Flash Bureau teammate doesn't help if you're Thatcher, which was probably the kind of turning point was whenever he did fall inside of Garage, because he was on for killing Dimitri. He should have had it, but that flashbang did impair his vision. I potentially would have liked to have seen as soon as he got that first kill to back off, perhaps, because you could still hold a crossfire from behind the van, which kind of covers you from those holes being opened, and you still have the cross if they try and push in towards double door. Decision making can be difficult in those split seconds. You either go for it or you don't. You take those 50-50s. Sometimes you lose them, sometimes you win them. And just for Black Dragons, they lost their 50-50s.
It's unfortunate. It definitely is. I think Black Dragons did the right thing there. When they couldn't get control of blue and they lost 2 people, they went for that backside take, and it actually did work out for them in the end with the sort of combined push down main stairs as well. And there's actually a decent amount of movement there as well coming out, especially the way that Panico adapted to that whole situation by pushing all the way down main stairs and managing to get that control on the garage as well. And I really just thought, like, at that point that they definitely have that in the bag, but Dimitri as well, like, by no underestimation, him able to get the double kill up and eventually the ace on smoke, not something you see every day.
No, it's actually funny, because the first round of Consulate, we've seen Live get an ace, and now the responses just came in from Dimitri, but how far can he keep that going, and how much more kills can he provide for his team? Could he be the Live for SuperNova?
Well, we'll definitely see how that continues to go down as we move into round number 2. Black Dragons not looking too good all of a sudden on Bank, but they have an opportunity to now bring this back. This map is, I mean, with most maps, is purely winning the attack and how well you can kick things off here. And it's really going to be telling of Black Dragons they don't pick up enough of these attack rounds. They need at least 2, but any more than that is going to put them at a big advantage moving into the second half. So pay close attention here. But of course, you know, losing on core sites is not a big deal, and, you know, Black Dragons did always bring it in, so we're still faithful in them.
Okay, SuperNova, how will you keep things rolling? You have a top floor now to deal with. You have some ACOGs being brought out. You have the Kaid now on table. And there is a Thatcher, though, available in this matchup, which is not really the norm. We have seen a lot of Thatcher bans in Bank, but this time around, he is available, but nobody from Black Dragons will be picking him up. They look as if they're going to try and pressure towards lobby, so perhaps a west window take, or could be in the kind of cards, but since there is people rotating towards Skylight, perhaps that isn't going to be the case. So they're just leaving the one guy on the windows to try and get like a pick or two, try and cut off rotations, whatever it is. The only worry that we have is if Black Dragons and their initial push fails, he's still going to be outside of the map and will not be able to assist his team.
Well, out. Live is going to rank up his kill count yet again with his entry frag up onto FK1, and automatically bring this into a 4v5. Revolts has managed to rotate all the way downstairs instead. He does have a Nitro in his back pocket, still is alive, still pushing up, but it's going to be Wag who scores the second kill, puts down the Acer of Dimitri, and this is looking way better for Black Dragons. They've got plenty of time still to work with here. Revolts, however, is moving through square to see what he can do, but looks like someone did actually drop off there to try and see what they can do. Norden still concerned about these front windows repels, but it's about a minute left to go on the clock, and there's still loads of time for Black Dragons and lots of utility up for them to try and make something work here, as well as PZD still repelling on these north windows to be able to do some damage. He does see the barrel of the Maestro and is going to ping that out for his team. Oh, you're going to kill? Almost. There we go. Almost get some damage in. There we go. He does get the down. Live picks up his second kill of the round as Cab is out of it, and it's all down to Revolts. No Nitro left remaining anymore as Panikov picks up the second kill, and no. Not able to be shut down completely. So Black Dragons take the round flawlessly, and that's a 3k for Live as well.
What a response, though. After being 1v, well, not 1v5, but, you know, one guy versus all of you, being able to get the ace, just flawlessing them is a great way to kind of show SuperNova that, hey, we just gave you that one round. That's it. We just gave you the one. That's all you're going to get. Don't get your hopes up. We're Black Dragons. We have this. We're going to win this. Now we continue on with round number 3. So Black Dragons, they break the CEO, and if the only bomb site that SuperNova can win is a basement, then they're in for a world of hurt, because that basement is really tough to attack. But I kind of feel as if to be a good bank team, you really need to make it on your other bomb sites for bank. Especially if you can nail a Teller's defense, you're a really good bank team. You're really solid on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we've seen a number of different weird defenses for that already before. We also saw that kind of like really heavy cap cam play from August.
It's the creative one.
As well.
It's the creative one.
Yeah, it did go through. But we'll see how this second CEO attempt is going to go down for SuperNova. But yeah, flawless round before from Black Dragons. They had so much control, and they got so many of those early picks as well. And yeah, Live overall in this series is 19-5 right now. He is absolutely dominating this matchup right now, and yeah, he's been able to get quite a lot of the entry frags. So. We'll have what goes down.
So, you look at the setup. It's similar to pretty much what they did last time. They have dropped the Kaid though, so they've kind of figured that, hey, he didn't really do much. There's a little bit more roamer presence. 2 of them downstairs, but very quickly Buck has been able to spot them out. And as soon as he has noticed that, hey, they both have C4s, I expect to see that mid-floor hold from Black Dragons to eliminate those C4s, because Bank, destructible, that's CEO of course, everything can be blown up from underneath. Again, PZD, just allowed to repel on the pillars windows, which these are so common, and I can't believe teams are still dying to that. I really can't believe it. It's not as if it's like a new thing, like a new, oh, look at this crazy strategy, nobody's going to expect it. Those have been around forever.
Yeah, not good at all.
Castle locking, perhaps? That's the only operator that can save you there?
Yeah,
it's just common sense, and you can't really teach common sense, can you, James?
Normally we do see a castle on just kind of cutting off those banana windows, but we're not going to see that right now. Dimitri's actually managed to find his way into stock. Not a great place to hide, but after the kind of initial droning phase, if you can sneak your way in there, it could be good as well. He's also got a Maestro Cam in the hallway to back him up here, and in this nice little prone angle that he's got himself going into, as well as Revolts hiding downstairs. So a very heavy roam game coming out from SuperNova still. See how that does work out for them as Black Dragons begin their attack through square. Again, the same take they were doing last time.
Okay, Black Dragons. So you've just dodged a C4, you haven't lost anybody, you've got the first opening pick, and you still have a minute 30 to go. So this is everything that SuperNova didn't do in console, and that's have a structured attack. Dimitri, though, does peek on out and eliminate said Thermite. Now that's a worry for Black Dragons, because they don't have anywhere to go. They can only push in through the bomb site, pretty much, and now this one could be a stickler.
It definitely could be a stickler indeed. BZD just running all the way out onto Penta to see what he can do live. Pushing up onto the square, but they seem to be taking their time with how they want to get stuff open. But Norden has been downed yet again in that front office. This is not good at all, as BZD will pick him up, and they'll push through onto the lobby and try and push up Spiral as well. Lag and PZD most trying to making their way through on this side as they seem to be rotating their entire attack through Spiral instead. I mean, I can't say I'm a fan of it, but I guess without the Thermite, it does make sense.
Yeah, whenever you don't have the Thermite to open up the breach, you are not going to push just everybody through Janners. If you know a smoke's there as well, it's not going to work. I still think that's going to be tough for them. Revolts, he's outside. He went for the Hail Mary jump out, but it's worked for them, as everybody else from SuperNova has won their gunfights, and they will take that round. That was a risky one from the Mozzie, but thankfully for him, his teammate did turn up where they needed to.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a quick rehost now, but SuperNova managed to time.
Black Dragons will continue on with set attacks as we move into round number 4, and it will be lockers, as that is like, you know, the kind of...
Oh yeah, sorry. It was...
Okay, so what we just had a tangent about the third bomb site, but they're even going there. But they could go there if they win this one, which we expect them to.
Got my rounds mixed up. It was the first round that they won on the lockers, and then, of course, the second round they went CEO, lost, and then they won on CEO, so now that has opened up them to go back to lockers. But yeah, you are right, Demo. If they do win down here, they can go through one of those off-sites. So round number 4 getting underway. And Blood Dragons are pretty content with this lineup that they've been bringing here for this lockers defense. Ooh, I like that. See, I wonder if he meant to do that during the first round, because he did 6-pick off the mute, but then he went back onto the mute. So he has brought the pulse though, and we do like a bit of pulse here. But the whole star of the show last time was Dimitri.
It was. Look at the server stairs. He stopped it in its tracks, not thinking down that side of the map, which, again, similar to what happened to CEO, the main goal of the first round for Black Dragons was to push in through a bomb site and do whatever they needed to do over there. That was their main intent. But then stuff went wrong. They went for the rotate, and they got caught out by it again. Then we've seen that repeat itself from CEO. Is it the opening that Black Dragons are kind of struggling with? I hope not, because if that's the case, then they could have a lot of issues in these next 3 rounds of their attack. And again, Maestro setting up shop in Garage. Nobody from Black Dragons has attempted to take side of that map, which is surprising because, like we've talked about, it's such a powerhouse position with the Maestro. You have the Alda, 81 bullets, ACOG, high rate of fire, minimal recoil, a lot of damage, a lot of headshots, a lot of kills. You want to try and exploit the weaknesses that is that massive Garage.
So, we'll see how Blood Dragons do want to take this. And yeah, the real disaster here last time was just not being able to take over the server stairs when they wasted so much time and so much utility to try and get it all opened up. I wonder if they're going to try and do something similar, because it felt like it was just a little bit of mistiming from their end that it was able to get Dimitri a double kill on here, because other than that, everything else was actually going really well for them.
Reload.
Like, their utility usage was good.
Can they repeat it, though? That's the main question. So SuperNova not really taking an aggressive roam game. They will instead try and hold those server stairs. The thing is this time, though, Black Dragons, they should be ready for it. Capitão's off the board, which is kind of like a big operator to take control of those server stairs, where we've seen Thatcher be banned in the place of him. But this time around, they will have to deal with only being able to use frag grenades and Sophia stuns primarily. They're setting up to try and take control of the stairs. That shield is going to be the first thing that they need to eliminate, and they will do so using Sophia charges. And, well, there is still those 2 nades now from Buck to be able to toss it in. Dimitri popping off his first smoke, just as a bit of a panic smoke, saying, don't come near us. We're just going to, you know, waste some more time for it. And a minute to go. Black Dragons, they need to get a shift on.
I'm really surprised he's used 2 smokes here, because those are 2 very early smokes that could be used for plant denial, but he's also just wasting time earlier on here. Just about a minute left to go on the clock, but there's not really much for him left to play with here, but still got 1 more smoke in the back of his round, but oh, he gets destroyed during the grenade as well, so now he's no utility on these stairs, and only 6 shells left. Nades are going to go out, so if he charges go out as well. This is looking like a bit of a disaster like it was last round. 2 drones come through to try and bait him to peek instead. It's going to be 4 shells remaining for Dimitri. He peeks out against GDN. Aston is such an important kill. That's the thermite dead. Oh my god, what a disaster for Black Dragons.
Oh no, what a blunder. And Black Dragons, they have to try and make this work without the lack of a thermite. So I expect the quick rush in towards A door and also drop the hatch technique is their option. Still one man inside a server that has just shot bullets, so now they know he's there. And if they eliminate Revolts, that's a C4 gone. Well, he's already wasted a C4, but that's information as well. And this is doable for Black Dragons, but 10 seconds they need to make it work. The drop comes in from the hatch, diffuser trying to be planted. Cab wings out a C4, but the great cover from the Buck standing firm in the eyes of the defenders. And Maestro tries to swing around, but that's a false hope. And FK1, again, the cover from Buck. Oh, it's actually Panico this time eliminates that, but hey, live, he was great.
What a recovery from Black Dragons. I really thought as soon as that thermite was dead and they wasted a good 2 minutes and 30 trying to clear that smoke out, that it was kind of completely all over after that one. But they were able to bring it in, and live, still doing well on that entry so far.
If it wasn't for him, they would have won that. He single-handedly gave that cover to the Thatcher. If that kite had detonated that C4, the round would have been over. Everything would have been crushed for Black Dragons. Still struggling, though, with eliminating the man on server stairs, which they shouldn't do. Fair play to Dimitri. He managed to move aggressively, knowing that the storm was about to hit him. He got one for his troubles. It was an important one in Thermite, but yeah, I kind of feel as if Revolt's playing in that position is like the wrong move. You want your pulse on site to give the information. I really don't get why they don't have like someone like FK1 playing there as the Jaeger. He can frag out a lot better with the Force 16. Nearly every single team who tries to hold server, they would have their initial man on the stairs, and their second man, it's always a Jaeger. It's always the Jaeger playing in behind server rack, nobody else.
I mean, I don't mind a pulse playing there, but not that late in the round to just give out the info on what's
I just don't like. I like Pulse there to begin with.
Yeah.
But whenever stuff does hit the fan, you need him in gold box. That's his best position.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree.
Hey, play free if you want to, because like for the most part, nothing really happens in Bank that anybody else has to worry around. Like Maestro sits in garage and holds that down. Smoke just kind of chills. Like he just sits in sight and doesn't really do anything. And you know, if he's not doing anything, then certainly Jaeger isn't doing anything either. So you could technically play all three in there if you wanted to.
That's true. But we'll see how SuperNova do hold this down, and just the entire crux of this whole thing has just been Dimitri playing on blue stairs, and if that can be successful or not. But he's actually put his shield down on the bottom of the stairs this time, which is weird. I don't think I've ever seen people do that before.
Does FK1 also have a shield? No, he doesn't. Right. Yeah, this is not the play. But then again, I think Black Dragons have been great off destroying that shield very early on. Perhaps he sees that it doesn't give him a whole lot of options, because that shield hasn't got many kills. It's just been him peeking up with a shotgun. He's done all the work himself. Yeah. So perhaps bringing that shield back to assist then the Pulse in the late game, or the Jaeger, which we hope is going to be there this time around. And that would be like the ideal scenario.
It's good EMP as well. He threw that from outside to be able to catch the ADS onto blue stairs. So you can just see, like, just from Black Dragons knowing that how we used to clearing this blue stairs, they should be able to do so. Putting the Claymore down, I think, is definitely the best bet he could have gone for here. As Dimitri still playing aggressively onto the blue stairs, and there's been just so much action around that blue stairs. It is crazy how much that Black Dragons have been worrying about that side and trying to just clear it. Hopefully maybe a K-trick can come out from below here, but no, not going to happen at all. That's going to get opened up easy as that, and Wagga should be able to peek through it.
Black Dragons, again, precise and clinical in how they want to move around the map and open up whatever they feel like, but still, that pesky smoke is the talk of the town. That's the man they need to hunt, that's the man they need to kill. Live has caught a glimpse of some legs running past, and that has been the smoke being forced back in towards the bomb site. They've realized that, hey guys, we didn't hold it last time, and well, PZD, he's just walked down main stairs, eliminated the Maestro, and Kaid, he's also in a bit of bother, and the pistol comes in, and that's a great trade-off, 2 for 1. And now SuperNova, oh, this is horrible. They've lost their control of Garage, that main ACOG, to try and stop the defuse coming in. Still, though, they have a C4, they have the smoke up, and Paul's giving a lot of information. Oh no, Thermite, you've lost yourself in an elevator. Why were you there? But then the collapses came in from Black Dragons, and just an absolute slaughterhouse on both sides, and another man drops elevator. Black Dragons just going crazy.
Wow, that was crazy. I think like they just completely active with the Zofia entry there, like 2 really good important frags, able to completely clear out the garage as well. And yeah, the main stairs not being held, that is a disaster right now. And yeah, Live is able to do the work to get those entries, but you know, like PZD definitely doing the work there as well. And it just seems kind of wild that they just completely ignored Blue this time, which I think honestly might have been the better call. And just to drop hatches, get the frags early on, get those fights early on, and just see what exactly they can do. But we're going to be moving into round number 6. It's going to be the final attack for Black Dragons before they move on to the defense. And SuperNova desperately need this round to keep themselves in the running.
Okay, Lockers, they were debating going CEO, but they went against that, feeling as if they have something now ready to go for Lockers, and it was just a simple mistake that cost them. Simply by having no cover in main stairs, Maestro being caught in the cameras, and Enkai just losing an unfortunate 1v1 just cost them everything. They were very quick to pull out of the server hold. They rapidly came back. Smoke used one of the Toxic Babes to cover the position in that Buck was in the hatch, trying to obscure his vision. And I don't know, SuperNova just felt as if they kind of bottled it in the final minute, where I think if they did hold and then potentially tried to rotate and have some fun in towards the flanks that Bank still offers, and I haven't really seen any like long-range flanks from SuperNova. Everything has been fought on the bottom floor.
Yeah, no, that is true. We haven't seen too much of a roam game or anything like that coming out, but moving to round number 6, we'll see how it is going to be going down. SuperNova have had very mixed success down here so far, which is very weird to see because it's normally the most defender-sided site in Bank. But we'll have a look at how this is going to go down, and interesting mute pick here now, again. So he's not brought the pulses down. I guess because, I don't know really what the mentality is behind that, but when they did pick the mute, they actually won, so maybe?
Another shotgun, another SMG-11. Couldn't go amiss. That would help in this bomb site where it's very close range and in-your-face action. But lack of information now is definitely something that they could struggle with. I find it weird that they don't play the mute in the smoke position, because smoke's really valuable to have in the final minute for denying the plant. And surely you'd want that over a C4. Why not play Revolt up close and personal with a shotty?
Well, talking about up close and personal with a shotty, it is going to be Dimitri still with a smoke playing aggressively up there. But it is going to be just a claymore put down, and I think honestly that Black Dragons are pretty content with not even pushing him at all and just doing the same take they did last round. With thermiting up onto the main hatch, onto the site, and actually opening up the back hatches as well with the Maverick.
Yeah. Utilizing the fact that there isn't Habana, you may as well try and open something. And it is weird that they go for the back hatch. Perhaps they're trying to bait in thinking that they could go for the back hatch and somebody from SuperNova has to then sit inside a vault. Doesn't help if the main push does come from A. And Black Dragons, I feel, are still trying to make up their mind. They've wasted more time. Oh, but I like this. They have sent one man in the dirt tunnel where they didn't previously, and this could catch the player inside a server by surprise. And it feels as if it will work, and the lack of Pulse, who was there last time given information, who could have even read in and seen that somebody was pushing dirt. Now for SuperNova, they could be in for a bit of bother. And yeah, here comes the man trying to hold from the back, just fearing that we could see the drop from the back hatch.
Yeah, 50 seconds left to go on the clock, but I like this from Panico to be able to try and push through sewer and see exactly what he can do here instead. Well, I'm just going to be rotating all the way around through into garage instead.
Okay.
And this is very, very tricky for Blood Dragons to want to try and pull off, because they're going to have to try and push from multiple angles at the same time. Panico slowly creeping his way up. Looks like Revolts knows that he's there and he will peek out, but Norden is going to be the one who scores the first kill of the round there in garage. PZD finds one of his own, however, so the drop has come down as Live tries to push the vault, and this is a very spread out defense and pretty spread out attack coming out right now. As GDS actually managed to find his way into the site, he's pressuring the smoke, takes down Dimitri. They're in sight, but they don't have diffuser right now. GDM finds a double kill for himself here, but they need to recover the diffuser. They need to get in here, and he will recover the diffuser. PZD quickly gets that, tries to hop over into the site, but he's run out of time. And SuperNova would take the round. What just happened there?
Oh, Black Dragons, just go with it. Why don't they just stick to one idea? You look at their consulate attacks. they were so strong. Every single time they attacked it, they had full control. They knew what they were doing. And now they're just mucking around with each other. They're like, okay, should I try this? No, let's try that. Okay, how about we try this one? And it's as if they're doing like a wine tasting, and they're trying to figure out which one they like the most.
I think Black Dragons can still be pretty content with the scoreline coming out of that first half, and 3-3 all tied up. SuperNova are going to have a bit of a job on their hands, as they're at a slight disadvantage now going into round number 7, of course. Very defender-sided map that Bank is, and especially with the operator bans that have come up on the board, it's going to make things hard for SuperNova to try and bring things in here, but we'll see the Dokkaebi. He's going to be brought here by Revolts instead of the IQ.
So this is a tough bit now for SuperNova. Their attacks were very mediocre. They also, like Black Dragons, didn't really have a clear indication of what they wanted to do. And I wonder if that's going to be the same trend now for them leading into their set of attacks that they need to pull out the business to try and take it to that third map. Or will they just give Black Dragons just to walk on in and take the map kind of mentality? I hope not. I really hope that it's going to be a lot better. So they're going to go for lockers. Black Dragons will be setting up a mid-floor hold in towards tellers. All right. That could be fun.
10 seconds left
But also could be risky, because if you lose your 1v1s up here, you could be then sitting at like a minute 30 at 2v5.
I mean, honestly, I think it's fine because the reinforcements that you normally use downstairs, you're looking at, what, 4 hatches and then 3 walls maybe in and around site. So I think you're fine to just spend a couple of reinforcements upstairs anyway, even if you don't even decide to use that roam game heavily. You're at least making the other team think you're doing a heavy roam game, so I feel like you might as well just spread out your reinforcements a little bit there. But we'll see SuperNova and how exactly they want to attack things here. The Dokkaebi pick is a really interesting one for me here. I think maybe for the extra nades as well to clear out blue.
Yeah, that's definitely another option that they could try and implement. It's always a tricky one, because Bank kind of opens up options for like a lot of things. You know, you don't really have that one dynamic playstyle, which we were talking about Border. You're basically fixated in one position. But Bank does kind of alleviate that little bit of pressure and allow you to have a lot more fun. Like, Bank's a fun map if you look at it.
It's a fun map, really?
I think it's fun. I always like seeing Bank. I even like playing it. Like, playing it in competitive is like a lot funner than what it is in ranked.
True. I think that's true in most maps, though, honestly. But we'll see Dimitri. He's going to try and go for this roam play right now. Just going for those pre-fires, but unable to find a kill just yet. Revolts have K1, just everyone is above him right now, but Dimitri's actually going to lose the fight. How does that happen? Live takes him off the board, and that's another freebie for him. The Valkyrie on the roam, that's going to be very successful for him as well, because that's nades off the table as well, more important.
It is. One set, but still another, though, in the backside of Revolt. And now Panico just relaying information to PZD, who tries to go in with a C4, but that goes amiss. And he's still upstairs. And once again for SuperNova, time is their biggest enemy in this game.
Oh, Karma's going to make things a little bit easier for himself here, as Live is going to be removed off the board. But great pick coming out from PZD there onto Revolt. So things moving back and forth here are a little bit. Slashes are going to go down, but SuperNova is really running out of time, and they don't have a lot of utility left remaining on the clock here either. 40 seconds to go on the clock, and SuperNova in a 3v4.
Norden looking to push down in towards the main stairway, but will be answered, however. And oh, well, Maestro, he's there ready to rock and roll, and Cab now just. Oh no, it's going to happen again, James. It's going to be the exact same thing that happened back on Consulate.
Potentially, Black Dragons looking very, 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 very dominant in their very first defense here on Bank, but we've still got a few more rounds to go, and you know, this is that first round. It is a core site. We're not really expecting SuperNova to be able to take that. All they need is 3 attacks to even this out. So, you know, we'll have a look at what SuperNova want to do, and don't forget, you know, Black Dragons did lose their first attack as well, so I think it's fine. I think we're fine. But we'll see SuperNova and how they want to move things through as we move to a CEO defense now.
Uh-huh.
Still bringing this Dokubi.
They are. Still rocking with it. No, man. I don't really think Dokkaebi has that much of an impact anymore. Like, back in the day where the calls used to be constant, it was a real pain. But just that nerf where it does go off after 12 seconds really hit her hard. And I feel as if the biggest thing that kind of happened to her a while ago was the SMG-12 nerf. Because you think about how much a monster that gun used to be. I think of a player like Aces, now on Vodafone Giants. Back in his days in Orglis, it was absolutely mental what that guy did with that weapon.
Very true, very true. Let's move it through and see exactly how SuperNova want to take this attack. But also the Dokubi, she does bring the MK14 EBR, and she should be able to get a lot of long-range gunfights out there. I call it the Lego brick, personally.
Why do you call it that?
Because if you look at the iron sights, it literally looks like you're looking down a piece of Lego when you're aiming it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you look through Lego in your spare time?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. You a big Lego man?
I used to be.
You used to be?
Yeah.
I missed that. I never got Lego. I was not a Lego kid, no.
So they put you on the G-Flow instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, let's move to round 3. And we're with the action phase now. Very heavy nitro strategy coming out from Blood Dragons here, with 3 nitros up on the board.
Yeah, a lot of C4s, and for this particular bomb site, it makes a lot of sense where you can C4 the plant in the later game. They have a heavy extent in towards that mid floor to begin with. There's a couple of players lurking down below. I wonder if SuperNova are going to take the initiative and actually attempt to go for a clear out, or will they just stick with the one plan, and that is try and open up the breach more than likely. And if you look at Consulate, they never really went for the hunt onto the Roamers. They just let Black Dragons play the way they wanted to. They were only fixated on opening up the breach and trying to go for the plant. Newsflash for you. Plants don't work if you get blown up from below.
Also, if you get killed from below as well, as Panico will find the very first frag of the round onto a lonely Jackal who tried to hop into Staff open area through the window, and he'll get shut down instantly. But yeah, you are right, lots of nitros available here for Black Dragons, and I feel this is a pretty nitro-heavy meta as well, on top of all of that, so they should be able to play off that quite well. We've got 2 of those playing down below, but we also do have that mute in Janus's closet right now, in the form of Live.
Disabling electronics.
SuperNova losing their first man, and that smoke's more importantly off the table. Another one, and another one just piles on for PZD, as that's a double for him. And now SuperNova, once more, feeling the bane of the defense of Black Dragons, and a flawless it seems to be in the cusp off. If Norton can pick off one, then at least he stops that, but the C4 seals the deal. And just the health was not there for Thermite. And Black Dragons, yeah, they're just, I think they're going to close it out here, James 7-3, I really do.
Oh, that is insane that I actually killed him, but he was very, very low HP to be fair, but sheesh, what a round from Black Dragons, another flawless one for them here on Bank, and SuperNova are getting torn apart, and their opportunities to bring this back are looking slimmer and slimmer. Look at that, PZD, since the rehost, 10-1 right now. He is absolutely fragging out of his mind, especially on that Sophia play. I think that was very, very important for Blood Dragons to kind of eliminate that basement defense in their first attack, but whew, Blood Dragons are looking much, much better right now.
They are indeed, and I don't know if SuperNova can stop that. I really don't know. Already, their first 2 attacks have looked abysmal. They have not had a clear sign of, honestly, leadership is really slacking. They just look as if they're playing just 5 players on their own. Just, you know, Jackal getting picked off with no refrags again. Where do we go for SuperNova? Like, where do we go?
Well, for Blood Dragons, they'll be going down to Tellers, and I think, you know, this is the offsite, right? And if you can win this, you've basically won the map, I think, for Blood Dragons right now. So this is definitely going to be a very critical round, but more so for SuperNova, because this is going to be the round that they need to win to keep themselves in the running here. It's definitely going to be the easiest site to attack out of the sites that we've seen for them so far, but we'll have a look at what SuperNova want to do here. Still bringing a very similar, if not the same lineup they've been bringing so far here on Bank Attacks.
10 seconds to go.
But also bringing the Gridlock now, rather than the Dope.
5 seconds to insertion.
Okay, SuperNova, can you pull it back and try and prove us wrong? Black Dragon set up shop in towards the top floor. Pretty standard setup. You have information there and a little bit less C4s. Only just the one, though, from the Valk. Everybody else has to try and play with their weapons. Vigil, also an interesting one to kind of pick up for this. And I think it works well whenever they will be defending that top floor as an offsite hold, which is like the main thing going for them with the Vigil, the lack of drones that, of course, he can deny from that. Kind of leave SuperNova thinking, okay, where is this guy? Where is he? You have to find him. You know, he's just taking everything from us. That's pretty much what PZD has done.
Attackers have located
He
a
has
bomb.
done, and I mean, also Live has done pretty well across this series as well, but yeah, PZD's definitely been fragging out of his mind right now. See, 10-1 still. So, we'll have a look what goes on, but it is going to be this time Dimitri who picks up the entry frag of the round. Mine going to go down very early on. It's already that devastating Maestro, the Alder, off the board so early on. Things looking much better for SuperNova with just that opening frag.
That was just Maestro peeking for no reason, and Dimitri will punish him for it. They've opened up a way in towards CEO. SuperNova now, they will try and go for the drone, and, well, they have found one. That's smoke off the table, but there's PZD, the main man they need to kill and shut down, and they will do so as I say it. FK1 Alma Sophia lands true and hits his shots, and GDN and Panico all to do, and they're even inside bomb site. They're still off. Valk's been droned away, but very quickly now scurries back into the safety of the bomb site. And a 2v4, so SuperNova, they could finally break the curse.
This is still very winnable for Black Dragons, though they still have that entire site set up, and that timer is indeed ticking down for SuperNova to try and do something. GDN going to thrust out a Nitro. Oh, look at his shot out, though, and it's going to be his teammate going down for it. GDN alone now in a 1v4, calling a 1v3 as he finds the proning FK1. So 1v3 now, but no Nitro remaining. He's going to have to find a way to stop the attackers from getting into sight, but he's not going to be able to. SuperNova take the round and keep themselves in the running here as Norden picks up that exit frag.
Oh, so SuperNova, they have responded, and perhaps Black Dragons not playing as tightly knit as we would expect from them. They looked as if they got caught out by surprise by what SuperNova were displaying. I even look at, you know, the Maestro peeking in and getting picked off very early on by Dimitri was a bit of a fault in his own eyes. But hey, that is the third bomb site. They didn't manage to break it, but they still have another good chances to pull this off. They still have the lockers, and of course after this, they have CEO ready to go again. So it's all doable now for Black Dragons. It's just, how will SuperNova now respond on the two bomb sites that they did lose?
Well, we'll definitely have a look. I like this 6-bit coming out from Live. He's going to be moving onto the Ella, so we'll see if he brings the Titan Killer here to hold down blue. But from SuperNova, there wasn't really a heavy blue clear at all coming out from them. In fact, we didn't really see too much movement from SuperNova the last time they went to that basement attack. But we'll have a look what they want to do this time. We'll have a look what Black Dragons want to change about their setup. But it seems obvious that, yes, he has brought the Titan Killer. And we'll see how he's going to be moving around that. But it looks like he's just going to be holding down blue with it.
He is. He's looking to get geared up. That's what we expect from the Ella, who does bring the mighty weapon off the Titan Killer. And I wonder what stone he's going to be using, because we've seen the Power Stone before, James, right? We've seen the Time Stone. So Power Stone is whenever he just, like, explodes. You see an Ella just get, like, 5 kills, right? That's the Power Stone. Time Stone is whenever we see an Ella dodge a flashbang, then get a kill, right?
Yep.
So you still 4 more.
5 seconds
So you have
remaining.
the Soul Stone, the Mind Stone, the Reality Stone, the Space Stone, right?
Attackers objective
What
is
are we going to
located
find
bomb
uses for them, James?
I think it's going to be the Reality Stone.
You
Where
think?
Somehow he managed to
He's
bend
going to pull
reality
off a
and he
crazy,
gets, like, some
thing, yeah?
like
right.
3k or
I
something
like it,
right
I like
there
it.
on the
What would be
blue
Soul
stairs.
Stone?
Just taking away the soul of the enemy by just getting like an ace or something like
But then
that.
that's the
and,
Power
yeah.
Stone as well,
Is
though.
it?
Soul Stone
Power
could be
Stone?
forcing
Okay,
the team
sure.
to not want to push them.
Sure.
Trying to, like, you know, scare them away.
Yeah.
Space Stone would be if he makes an incredible rotation,
Yeah.
right? And then we still have Mind Stone,
Yeah.
which, what could the Mind Stone be?
You trick your enemy into making a rotation they didn't need to make.
True. Okay, so we have unlocked the potential of the Titan Killer. Still possesses all 6 power. This is great. I really like this. This is excellent. We're making our own lore.
Yeah. I like it. So, just about a minute into the round already. not too much control from SuperNova. This is kind of the issue they were having in Consulate, where they just were not gaining any kind of control early on in the rounds, and it was really punishing them later on, and they were stalling out quite a lot. This is a map I think can be a little bit more lenient in terms of time efficiency. Just as long as you get your objectives done within those last 30 seconds, you can definitely go for that push. The flashbangs are going to come out from Norden here to burn the ADS on blue. And we do see Dimitri holding from above, waiting for that peek from the Titan Killer.
SuperNova taking their time, which can be great for teams, but not really for SuperNova because they always fall short of the mark. Black Dragons, they're happy enough to sit in sight. They know that SuperNova take a really long time to get things set up. And that's where the power of the utility that Black Dragons have and the crossfire and the positioning, especially on their defense, is great.
This ADS is actually going to catch that last flashbang, so that's going to let SuperNova know there is actually still another ADS up here. The Zofia charges are going to go out. It's actually going to be backed up by GDN on another shotgun here. Frag grenade's going to come out, but it is going to get caught out, and it's going to be Live who gets the down, but doesn't get a kill just yet. Smokes are going to come out. Now, hopefully that is going to mean a retreat can come through, but Live is still actually holding this down, despite the fact he's lost his ADS now, but he's going to swap, rotate with GDN here. Nade comes out, but not able to find the mark, and GDN finds the kill onto Dimitri. Another smoke is going to go out as well, but the Element just going to hit him in the back. This is a great hold still, actually. It's still very adaptable.
PZD now peeking up and takes the cap right off the Maverick. And here comes GDM with a shotgun. That smoke shotgun hits. It's a mark. And that Revolt even rotates in towards tunnel to try and get something on the board. But Black Dragons, they have all dominant control. They have everything for them. Time again, just not on the side of SuperNova. Cab is in the heart of the bomb site, but quickly gets eliminated. And well, Panico, he's there again. Revolts falls, and the Titan Killer is there to do the job. There's a part of me now that believes that the smoke shotgun is like Mjolnir or Stormbreaker.
I think it's just like one of those guns that you have to believe in, and if you believe in it, it will grant you kills.
You have to be worthy.
Yeah, you have
AKA
to be
Mjolnir or Stormbreaker.
Sure. Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. But we are building the lore here demo today.
We're doing well. Is there a Rainbow Six like fan wiki that we have? Those exist? Because
really hope so.
I'd be down for making an absolute case of the Titan Killer.
PZD is 12-3 right now. He's just completely dismantled.
And we had a rehost as well.
Yeah, like this is minimum, right? Like
this is only after 7 rounds played, so 12 kills in 7 rounds.
Yeah, this is looking really good. So far, we're gonna go to CEO office defense here now for Black Dragons, and we'll have a look exactly how this is going to be going down. This is looking awful for SuperNova. They have to take these next 2 attack rounds. One of them's going to be on the core site. Well, I mean, they have to take them both. I mean, they could definitely both be on core sites, because if they take this, then they could go back to CEO. So I could definitely see them having to try and win CEO 2 times in a row here. That's a bit of a tall order, but they can do it. It's definitely doable coming into overtime. This has been a much closer matchup than Consulate was, for sure.
Yeah, you look at Consulate, and it was so much more decisive for Black Dragons, especially. SuperNova had a better showing on their defensive half, more so than what they kind of did in Consulate, which was ran over by Black Dragons. It was like, you know, something's on the road, you just completely crushed it. That was Consulate in a nutshell. But still, Black Dragons expected from them to be in this position, and all they have to do is win CEO, and that locks it out. Even if we do get to round number 12, I don't see SuperNova pulling it.
Panico unable to get the drone, unfortunately, there for himself. But again, like, I don't know what it is with LATAM teams. It just seemed to be like this really weird heavy roam game coming out on CEO that I'm not used to seeing, really. Like, I'm not against it, like playing heavy nitrous from below, and PZD picked up a couple of really early frags for himself up here last time he did that, so it's good. I'm not against it. I'm just like, you know, you're not used to seeing it so heavily roamed downstairs.
SuperNova, once again, Dimitri entering in by himself via dirt tunnel and right into the building. This is how he got a pick from the Teller's defense that Black Dragon's trying to go for, and looks to be he's going to get rewarded again. Panico, not expecting the quick aggression from Jackal, and really, why would he whenever SuperNova have taken so much time before?
That is actually crazy that you managed to do that and get in like that, considering how much info that Black Dragons should have right now. But the Maestro Cam, about info on Kanto is going to get removed. So GDN going to retreat back into conference and see what he can do here instead. But Black Dragons already at that man disadvantage, already losing one of their Romas and one of their Nitros. It's not great, but PZD hopefully should be able to recover a little bit of that ground here as he flanks through Staff into Kitchen. And yeah, he does. He gets the kill out of it. And yeah, there goes Dimitri. There goes one off the board. And him and the Mute of Live are trying to play together. Live just pick up the kill onto Revolt, but Norden will trade it out onto Wag, and FK1 gets a kill onto Live, but GDN trades it right back out onto the Thermite. Now they've lost their Thermite. It's going to be very, very hard for them to push square, but Blood Dragons find themselves in a 2v2 now. And GDN is the only person left on site, but what was that? Cab just drops off the top ropes and gets dropped right along with the diffuser. So down to FK1 to try and bring this in, but this is looking very unlikely right now. Yeah,
that was
I
the
think
flying
this is
elbow.
kind of all,
That's
yeah,
what
it's
that
the flying
was.
elbow.
The
right off
reversal
the top
came in.
ropes.
You ever reverse the flying elbow? No?
I haven't got pissed.
Well, that's exactly how you do it. That was
Well,
a
there we go.
perfect example. And that was Diffuser as well, and Black Dragons know that, and both of them have set up shop in towards Skylight. FK1, all to do, 1v2, you hold the fate of your team in your hands. Pushes in towards open area. In the kitchen, he's just careful that somebody could be in the corner, but nobody's lurking there. It's more the man up close beside the double door, and PZD gives himself away. Now it's the smoke against the Sophia. A battle that we've seen roar on since the beginning of time. And, oh, there's a pre-placed smoke that gets activated, but FK1 doesn't care about that. He runs straight on through, but equally GDN, he's also followed him through with a rotation. FK1 did catch a glimpse, and he wins this. How's he done that one? Probably thanks to Black Dragons throwing for him. And again, Black Dragons, they love the throw, don't they? Get them in North America, get them shit.
So moving to round number 12, SuperNova have an opportunity to close this out as they are one round away from bringing us to overtime. A much better showing from them, but look at that. PZD, again, every time we check the scoreboard, he's found himself a few more kills on the board, and he's looking absolutely incredible. I will like to state as well that in the series so far, Live is actually 25-8 after a really good performance on Consular 16-4. So, not too shabby of a performance from him either, but we see the Nook pick for the first time this series, but we have seen a Nook pick before on Bank during the Kansky game, and I think we saw it yesterday as well. But no,
It's just debated you.
Yeah.
How do you feel that you've been pranked,
I
bro?
was looking forward to a Nook pick.
That's it, bring in the cameras, guys. We've got him. He's been absolutely punked.
Been punked by FK1. And he's going to move on to the book instead. I think the book definitely a good pick here
Defenders
as well, though.
protect bombs from being defused by attackers.
And again, like, SuperNova's been bringing a very similar lineup, but I just don't think this Jackal's been doing much for them.
Hasn't really used his gadget. We've only seen kills from him for the most part. Dimitri has only been playing that simply for the C7E, and there has been little to no information being gathered by that information operator, and we know there isn't a whole lot of those on the attack. There's what, Lion, Dokkaebi, Jackal. That's it.
Yeah, and well, this is why my point, right? Like, you could do that with any operator. So it just feels like there could be something more useful that they could be bringing here, because it's not like the Black Dragons' roam game has been super complicated, because they've mostly just played two guys around the tellers area and then have a rotate into staff open area, maybe even three guys sometimes as well. But looks like they're going to do the same thing again. I mean, yes, he caught out Panico, but he could have done that as literally any other operator. Or maybe you could argue, though, that he's running the Jackal so he can see if there's any footprints downstairs, so that he knows he's clear to rotate up blue and do that kind of thing.
Okay, SuperNova, can you do it? Can you take us to the OT that we are also waiting for? SuperNova, they look as if they're just trying to drone out and see if there is any pesky roamers, which they have had issues with in the past. And I wonder if they will notice Panico below. And even PZD, who's been known to play downstairs in this position, they should be expecting the roam game from Black Dragons at this stage. If you haven't, then have SuperNova been playing the same game that we've been watching? Black Dragons are all about the denial from below, all about killing them where you least expect it. SuperNova haven't really gave Black Dragons that much respect in terms of how they've been going around their roam game. They've been a lot more strict on prioritizing opening up the breach. Dimitri, again, entering in by himself towards lobby, there's a ping that will assist him in hunting PZD, who we know is going to be the man to kill. But window game is going to be the main cause for caution now for Black Dragons, as there's numerous attackers scattered along the sides of the building.
I don't get why he did that to change the ping. I mean, I guess he doesn't know it's a Maestro's footprints, but I feel like just being able to track that Valkyrie anyway would have been more useful than any other operator he could have chosen there anyway. But we will see Jackal tracking is going to come out, but the smokes come out. Oh my god, that's so much damage! As Dimitri's almost lost half of his life now. What the?
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, no, that is a lot of damage. Nades are going to come out onto the top of Spiral, however, as Black Dragon still holding down firm, and they still have a huge kind of roam game, but the Spiral push is definitely being very successful for SuperNova right now.
PZD has a couple of bullet holes he can try and play around with, but the first blood will be shed by Black Dragons, and the second as well. SuperNova, they've grabbed it. They're taking it for all it's worth. Wag has managed to at least get one kill, but still firmly in control of SuperNova. Another one comes in, but another down though for SuperNova. Essentially a 2v3, because I don't think Live will be picked up. Just the Maestro now. Wag, you have it all to do. Thermite has been revived. Still one man breathing down the back of the neck on the windows as he rotates over towards the right-hand side ones. And now Wag, he's been caught out, and SuperNova, they make it to OT.
What a disaster for Black Dragons here to actually hold on to this, but I actually really liked the Spiral take there from SuperNova. I think like that was the way better choice to make. You can be so much better coordinated with a Spiral push than you can with a Square Stairs push, and honestly I think these days it's a little bit more preferred in some cases. Black Dragons have fallen apart completely, and SuperNova have done what I thought was going to be the impossible. They've won 2 CEO attacks in a row. That's going to guarantee them the overtime, but SuperNova now a bit of an uphill battle as they do start on the attack. But the attack has been, you know, it's been 50-50 so far, so you could argue it's not even that bad.
Yeah, it can be a lot worse, couldn't it? Everything could be a lot worse. Most things are a lot worse. Wouldn't you say, James?
They're going to have to go to the Lockers attack now, which, you know, hasn't been great for SuperNova. But even if they lose this, they come into their own Lockers defense, which has had mixed results for them. But then they come onto the attack, and they then can go to an attack that they've successfully won a few times now. So, honestly, I see this OT playing out for SuperNova, and I can definitely see us going to our decider of Border. But let's have a look exactly how this is going to go down. I don't think, as I said, like, Black Dragons, I feel like if they drop this map, even if they win Border, it could be a defeat for them. Because now they've got to show their hand. They've got to show what they do on Border to some extent. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how Black Dragons hold on to all of this. But last time, and for the few other defenses that have been down here, it's been pretty good for them.
10 seconds to go.
Black Dragons, they will take up arms in the Lockers, which they've had an alright time with. They haven't lost it on their defense. They did lose an attack, to be fair to them, but for the most part, their defense has looked solid on this bomb site. It was CEO and Tellers that they struggled with. I have a feeling that SuperNova are just going to crumble on this bomb site specifically, and it's down to them to see how they will, in return, try and bring it back to 7-7, and then from there, really it's game on for the final round. Black Dragons, they did seem as if they were kind of slipping in towards the last couple of rounds there, you know, losing 2 CEOs off the rip, and it was more interesting because both times where they lost, well, nearly every time that they've lost, it's down to SuperNova getting the first pick. But if Black Dragons get the first pick, then SuperNova, they crumble. And that's why we have seen flawless rounds from Black Dragons.
Yeah, we definitely have seen a couple of flawless rounds from Black Dragons. They've definitely been doing pretty well in this series, and they're definitely the favorites to take it all. But SuperNova have definitely stepped up to the mark in these last couple of rounds. Let's see if they can continue to do so. Dimitri pushing through onto square, and looks like they're trying to clear out blue red again. This was a bit of a disaster last time, and I really like the ADS placement specifically coming out from Black Dragons. This is also why when Black Dragons attacked here, they threw a Thatcher from outside rather than from inside, so it destroys the Thatcher to the ADS to the side. And I think that's what SuperNova just did slightly. Well, they moved EMP slightly further down.
No Titan Killer this time for Black Dragons, though, so that could let them down in the long run, because as we know, it is the almighty powerhouse weapon. Not the Alda, just that gun specifically. So FK1 will start to try and open up the A hatch, and that will, first of all, create a gap in the A bomb, but also means that any player caught inside of server, they are there to stay. PZD, who did pull that stump the last time, doesn't get it this time around. Demetriel will try and toss in some nades, Sophia stuns as well. Will hit both players of Black Dragons, but just a safety smoke though, to try and sanction off any pushes that could try and come in. Another one pre-placed. And a minute now, and again, SuperNova, their time management is letting them down.
Yeah, but as I said, I think this can still be won, even with 30 seconds left to go on the clock, but that timer is indeed ticking down. More smokes are going to start to go out from GDN, still content to just hold on blue. Hopefully he doesn't peek this up, because he will get molly-rocked off of it, but PZD does take down Dimitri, and there's another one. Panico takes down Norden. It's now a 3v5, and this is looking horrible for SuperNova as one tries to push down Garage. It's going to be two push down Garage, but they're going to find Wag, who's just playing this very, very patiently. They've got to go in and rush this, however, and Wag is panicking a little bit, but GDN is going to help him out with a kill onto Revolt, and the last members of SuperNova are in the Garage to try and peek it out. It's all down to FK1. He's managed to find his way behind the ambulance, but this is not looking too good. FK1 pushing all the way up onto PZD, trying to find what he can do here, but no kills for him, as Black Dragons stick round number 13 and put themselves yet again onto a match point. So things are looking very, very good for Black Dragons here, but they're going to have to move on to the attack now. This basement, if they do go to it, has been very mixed for SuperNova.
It's been varied. Certainly, I think Black Dragons have kind of found their rhythm with their attacks for lockers. CEO did look to be, I think, the better option for SuperNova overall. They did win that last lockers one, though. So that, the last round in their half, that round number 6, they did win it against Black Dragons. And that could be their kind of thinking point was saying, right, well, we had a good time the last time we went here. Can we recreate the magic that kept us in the game? I don't know if they can, man. I just feel as if Black Dragons have such an easier time attacking this bomb site compared to CEO, but it all revolves around who gets the first blood this game. That's been the real deal breaker for me, is whoever gets on top first, they stay on top.
Yeah, no, that is true. I think though that Black Dragons have been kind of like mucking about on a few of these attacks. Like as we said, they kind of like do a bunch of different weird attacks that some of them just do not work. Like desperately trying to push down his backside twice in a row, which kind of seemed completely unnecessary for them to even try and do so. But don't forget as well that this was the round we went to first, and it was the round where Dimitri found his ace. So I think it's definitely very, very possible for SuperNova to bring this in and send us to max over time. So we'll have a look at how this is all going to be going down, as drones are going to start to come out from Black Dragons, and they're going to have a look how they want to take this. But I think we're just going to see a very similar take to what we saw from SuperNova just the previous round, but hopefully a little bit more successful.
SuperNova, pretty standard from what we've seen already before. We've seen Pulse being added into this lineup before, but Mute now is going to be the pick of choice. Smoke, Maestro, Kaid, and Jaeger have been like the staples for both sides. It's just that flex roll that's been interchangeable from time to time. Heck, even L has been shown up in this match. So Black Dragons, they're going to take their time with their drones, but honestly at this stage of your Black Dragons, you're not expecting SuperNova to roam. They didn't really do a lot of that on Constant, so why would you expect them to do it on the bank? They are all about the turtling and the anchor, and primarily anchoring down on that server stairs where Dimitri plays with the shotgun and the shield, and then everybody else kind of supports them. There's been varied results there from Black Dragons. Sometimes I've seen them kind of bottle out of it and then decide to push in some pretty crazy ways, drop hatches and main stairs, and whatever they've kind of went for has been really weird. I just hope this time around Black Dragons have a clear indication of what they go for, and they just don't bottle it like they've done in the past.
Yeah, they have managed to bottle this quite successfully before, but see how this is going to be going down. Dimitri, of course, playing his prided position here onto the top of server stairs. But like a few times now, Black Dragons haven't even bothered to try and push this guy. They just put a Claymore down and say, okay, whatever, we're just going to go push somewhere else instead. Potentially that's the best idea for them to do, but Panico last time managed to do quite a lot of work, and so did PZD. It looks like they do actually want to push the server stairs this time. Drones are going to come out. They're going to be able to impact onto the shield. They take it out. That's a lot of utility gone, but it looks like the smoke is indeed still playing here. And yes, there goes the smoke as well. Dimitri still content to play here. Revolt's playing the bottom of his stairs to make sure he can't get flanked out. And this is still looking really good for SuperNova, honestly, as there we go. Nades are going to go down. Mother Smoke is going to go out to stop his push starting to come down, but he's almost run out of smokes here now. This isn't looking good so far for Dimitri to try and stay here, and he is going to be out of smokes now. And the nades are going to come through. He's going to get damaged, and there it goes. He does get taken off the board by Live and PZD, who make their entry into Revolts and Dimitri, looking much, much better there for Blood Dragons to gain that early ground. You could say not too early, since they are running out of time. Now, 30 seconds left to go on the clock. There's still one Nitro for SuperNova, and that could be round winning right there.
Still feel the man advantage goes in favor of Black Dragons. They can even put some men in behind the back and even drop hatch, whatever they need to do just to stop this. They will go for it. C4 is going to try and be cooked, but doesn't hit the mark, and GDM will continue on with the plant, and Black Dragons, they look as if they've booked their ticket into the quarterfinal. They will win the last round of 16 matches, unless FK1 can pull off the craziest clutch we will ever see in Rainbow6 history. And now it's just a matter of fact of who wants to get the kill from Black Dragons, as they know exactly where he is. And just Maverick just toying with him. They know they've won the game, and they will do so in flawless fashion. Black Dragons, 8-6, they take it. It took them a while, but they eventually got there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely crazy game coming out there, but eventually Black Dragons, I think, were kind of destined to win that in the end, and they won't have to go to border. It will be clean sweep 2-0 from them, so it means that every single team hits a 2-0 in the round of 16, except, of course, from MIBR, who did drop a map. But yeah, now we have our quarter-finalists, of course, and also I just want to say, PZD 18-6 just on that map.